Loss is the tuition every trader pays to the market. Some pay it once and learn. Others pay it again and again and never understand why the bill keeps coming due. The difference is not intelligence. It is not luck. It is whether a man can sit quietly with his losses and extract the lesson hidden inside the pain. The market is a stern teacher. It does not explain itself kindly. It simply takes your money and waits to see what you will do next. Most traders treat a loss as an insult. They feel attacked. They feel wronged. They rush to get even, not realizing that the market does not know they exist. That impulse to strike back is the beginning of ruin. I learned early, through bitter experience, that the moment you take a loss personally, you have already surrendered control. The market punishes emotion far more harshly than ignorance. There were days when I lost more money than I thought possible in a single session. The pain was physical, the shame heavier than the loss itself. But it was never the loss that did the damage. It was what I did after. When I chased the market to reclaim pride, I lost more. When I paused, studied, and accepted responsibility, I survived long enough to recover. Loss does not destroy accounts. Unexamined loss does. Every setback carries a message, but it speaks softly. You must still your mind to hear it. Was the loss caused by poor timing or poor judgment? Was it a sound idea entered badly, or a bad idea defended stubbornly? Did you follow your rules, or did you bend them because you felt certain? Certainty has ruined more traders than doubt ever has. The market does not reward confidence, it rewards discipline. The trader who survives is not the one who avoids losses. That man does not exist. The survivor is the one who learns how to lose properly. He takes the loss quickly, records it honestly, and walks away intact. He does not argue with the tape. He does not search for excuses. He does not blame news, brokers, or other traders. He looks inward, because that is where the mistake always begins. There is a dangerous illusion that profits teach more than losses. This is false. Profits teach complacency. Losses teach precision. When you win, you assume you were right for the right reasons. Often you were merely fortunate. When you lose, the market strips away illusion and shows you exactly where your thinking failed. If you are brave enough to study that failure, you gain an edge most will never possess. The hardest moment is immediately after a loss. Your instincts scream for action. Your mind races with justification. You want to prove something, to yourself or to an imaginary audience. This is when discipline matters most. Walking away from the screen after a loss is not weakness. It is strength. It is the act of a professional who understands that clarity never comes from agitation. There was a time when I believed persistence meant staying in the market no matter what. I confused stubbornness with resolve. The market corrected me. True persistence is the willingness to stop when conditions are wrong and return only when the odds have shifted. Losses often occur not because the idea was wrong, but because the timing was. Knowing the difference separates traders from gamblers. You must learn to view your trading record the way a businessman views his books. Each loss is an expense. Some expenses are necessary, others are waste. The goal is not to eliminate expenses, but to ensure they are justified. If a loss comes from following your method faithfully, it is acceptable. If it comes from impulse, impatience, or fear, it is poison. One builds experience, the other builds bad habits. Many traders quit just before their turning point. They assume the market is against them, when in truth it is trying to teach them restraint. Every great advance in my own trading came after a period of sustained difficulty, not because the market changed, but because I did. I stopped forcing trades. I stopped believing I was owed profits. I began waiting for conditions that favored me. The market does not reward effort. It rewards alignment. You can work all day and lose money, or wait patiently and make more in a single well-timed position than a month of frantic trading. Losses often come from trading too often, not too poorly. When you trade less, you think more. When you think more, you act better. Turning a setback into a comeback begins with humility. You must accept that the market exposed a flaw in your process. That flaw is not a condemnation. It is an invitation. Fixing it may require reducing size, slowing down, or returning to higher time frames. It may require admitting that what excites you is not what pays you. Most traders would rather be entertained than profitable. The market caters to neither. Size is often the silent culprit behind devastating losses. A good idea traded too large becomes a bad decision. When size is wrong, fear takes control, and fear destroys judgment. After a setback, reducing size is not retreat, it is regrouping. It allows you to observe clearly again. Many fortunes have been rebuilt, one small, disciplined trade at a time. The market respects those who respect risk. Losses grow large only when risk is ignored. If you find that a single loss has damaged you emotionally or financially, the position was too big. Proper risk allows you to think. Improper risk forces you to react. Reaction is the enemy of strategy. There is no shortcut through pain in this business. Every trader who lasts has scars. The difference is whether those scars become wisdom or bitterness. Bitterness leads to revenge trading, denial, and eventual ruin. Wisdom leads to caution, selectivity, and longevity. The choice is made after every loss, not after every win. You must separate your identity from your results. A losing trade does not make you a failure. It makes you a participant. The market tests every participant relentlessly. Those who survive are not special. They are disciplined. They learn to stand still when their instincts urge them to charge forward blindly. The comeback does not come from forcing profit. It comes from restoring balance. Sleep properly. Step away from the screen. Review your trades without emotion. Write down what went wrong and what was done correctly. This is not busy work. It is the foundation of progress. Traders who do not review their losses are condemned to repeat them. Eventually, if you persist intelligently, you will notice a shift. Losses will shrink. Confidence will return, not as bravado, but as calm. You will stop trying to make money every day and focus instead on trading well. Money follows that focus naturally. The market senses desperation and exploits it. It rewards patience quietly. Every great recovery begins with restraint. The trader who can lose and remain composed possesses a rare advantage. He is no longer at war with the market. He is studying it. And the market, sooner or later, reveals opportunity to those who wait. A comeback is never loud. It does not announce itself with bold profits or dramatic reversals. It begins quietly, often unnoticed even by the trader himself. It begins the moment you stop trying to recover losses and start trying to recover discipline. That distinction matters more than any indicator or method you will ever learn. Money is the byproduct. Control is the objective. After a setback, the market will tempt you with easy-looking trades. This is not kindness. It is a test. The setups will appear familiar, comfortable, almost inviting. If you rush back in with the same mindset that caused the loss, you will repeat the outcome. The market has infinite patience. It will wait for you to make the same mistake again. Your job is to recognize the pattern before it repeats. The greatest danger after a loss is urgency. Urgency distorts perception. It makes mediocre opportunities appear exceptional. It convinces you that time is against you. Time is never against the disciplined trader. The market will be here tomorrow, next week, next year. Opportunities do not disappear. They rotate. Missing one means nothing. Forcing one can mean everything. When rebuilding after losses, simplicity becomes your ally. Complication often disguises confusion. Traders who lose confidence add indicators, strategies, and opinions, hoping complexity will save them. It will not. Return to what you know. Trade fewer markets. Use fewer time frames. Focus on clear conditions. When clarity returns, confidence follows naturally. There was a period when I stripped my trading down to its bare essentials. One market, one setup, one position at a time. Pride resisted this simplification, but survival demanded it. That decision saved my career. Many traders fail not because they lack intelligence, but because they refuse to reduce themselves when the situation demands humility. A proper comeback requires you to trade smaller than feels comfortable. This bruises the ego. You will feel as though you are wasting time. You are not. You are retraining your instincts. Small size allows you to think objectively again. It restores the ability to observe price without fear. Once that clarity is restored, increasing size becomes a natural progression, not a desperate gamble. You must also accept that not every loss teaches a new lesson. Some losses simply reinforce old ones. The market repeats lessons until they are fully absorbed. If you keep losing money the same way, it is because you keep ignoring the same message. Write it down. Read it daily. Discipline grows through repetition, not insight alone. Another truth traders resist is that setbacks often occur after periods of success. Success breeds carelessness. It loosens risk controls. It convinces you that conditions will remain favorable indefinitely. They never do. The market changes character without warning. A disciplined trader adjusts. A complacent trader resists. The market always wins that battle. Turning setbacks into comebacks also means redefining what progress looks like. Progress is not measured in profit alone. It is measured in execution. Did you follow your rules? Did you exit when you were wrong? Did you avoid overtrading? These are victories even if the trade lost money. Accumulate enough of these small victories and profits become inevitable. There will be days when the best trade is no trade. This is difficult for the modern trader to accept. Screens are always on. Markets are always moving. But movement does not equal opportunity. Learning to stay out when conditions are unclear is one of the most profitable skills you can develop. Most traders never master it. A comeback also requires forgiveness, not from the market, but from yourself. Holding resentment over past mistakes clouds judgment. The market does not remember your losses. Only you do. Carrying that memory into the next trade creates hesitation or recklessness, both of which are costly. Learn, adjust, and let go. The next trade deserves a clear mind. Over time, you will notice that losses no longer shake you as they once did. This is not numbness. It is maturity. You understand that losses are part of the business, not an indictment of your ability. You stop measuring your worth by your last trade. That emotional distance is a sign of growth. The most dangerous trader is not the beginner. It is the wounded trader who refuses to slow down. He trades to heal pride rather than to make sound decisions. He mistakes activity for progress. His downfall is not inevitable, but it is likely. Avoid becoming that man. The trader who survives setbacks learns to anticipate them. He knows drawdowns are unavoidable. He plans for them. He adjusts risk before damage becomes severe. He treats capital as inventory, not as chips in a casino. This mindset changes everything. Eventually, if you persist with discipline, you will experience the quiet confidence that comes from resilience. You will know that no single loss can destroy you. You will know that you can step back, reassess, and return stronger. This knowledge removes fear, and without fear, judgment improves dramatically. The market respects endurance. It rewards those who adapt rather than insist. Turning losses into lessons transforms trading from a struggle into a craft. You stop fighting the market and start cooperating with it. That shift is subtle, but it marks the difference between those who burn out and those who endure. Every great trader you admire has stood where you stand now, staring at losses, questioning decisions, doubting direction. What separated them was not genius. It was the refusal to quit blindly and the willingness to change intelligently. Losses are not the end of the story. They are punctuation. What follows depends entirely on how you respond. If you listen, adapt, and act with restraint, setbacks become the very thing that sharpens your edge. And when the next opportunity arrives, as it always does, you will be ready not because you avoided loss, but because you learned from it.